In today's video, we discuss about built-in functions. Built-in functions are very important in any language. So every language will have its own built-in functions. So same is applicable in Python also. So today is a day 7. In this video, we learn built-in functions. So prior to that, so we already have 6 videos. In these videos, we already explained programming in Python. We learn about variables in the day 1. If you not yet watched, please watch that video to understand like how we can use the variables in Python. Then we talk about the data types. So particularly we talk about list, tuple, set, dictionary. So these 4 are important because again and again we'll use this. So understand this concept in the day 2. Then we have day 3 if else statement. So this is also a very important statement because this is a conditional statement. To do process, we need to check the condition. So therefore, if else if is very important. Next one is the for loop. So for loop to manage with all these sequences or collection of object. So for loop is very important. Apart from this, for regular loop also we can use the for loop statement. So therefore, go to the video, day 4 video, learn about for loop. The next one is the while loop. While loop to continue the loop till how many times you want and do the particular work. Okay, that is a while loop. So this is on day 5. And the day 6 we discussed about creating a functions. How to create a functions using the def keyword. So define our definition, then how to do that. Okay. So if you're not yet watched any of the videos, please watch that videos and then continue with the 7th day video. Fine. So today we'll move on. So we'll discuss about built-in functions which are provided in a Python. Built-in functions. So what is a function? Function is a block of code that perform a specific task, a particular task. Okay. That is what the job of the built-in functions. And here you can see that we have a shell here. So you already installed the Python. So you can just go to Python shell. So Python IDLE. So when you click this, it will open the Python IDLE. So this is what we are using here. Okay, so I'll just make up some space here. Right, so this is the Python shell. So execute the commands over here. We can execute the commands. So you can open the Python shell, or if you are using any other editors, you can type in editors and then you have to execute it. So let's come back to built-in functions. Let us start with that. So first we discuss the ABS. So ABS stands for the absolute. Absolute. What it will do? It returns the absolute value of a number. So if you give -5, so absolute value is the positive value. So you'll remove the minus sign and then you'll give the positive 5. So here, let us check this. So you can say ABS of -5. So why it's required? In some cases, for example, we want to do, let's say A is equal to 5, B is equal to -6. But -6 we don't want, okay? Irrespective of the sign, we want to add the two numbers. In that case, what we can do is A is equal to A plus, so this is ABS absolute of B. So then you can say print C. Okay, so I missed the bracket. Let's say print, open bracket, then C, close the bracket. Okay, earlier 2.0 without bracket it will work, but now 3.0 is supposed to use the bracket. Now you can see that it is 11. But if we don't use the ABS functions, if we say C is equal to A plus B, then you can say print C, you'll get -1. So we don't want a -6 now, even though it's a negative, you want to convert into positive. So in that case, you can use the ABS function. So ABS functions will change the negative number to positive number. So this is a concept of ABS. So whenever is necessary, we want to negative to positive, then you can use the ABS functions to convert it. Next, all function ALL returns true if all items in an iterable object is true. So what is iterable object? So here is a sequence like list, tuple, string, right? So these are the sequences because it will have a list of objects are variables, are values. So these values can be iterable. So we can read the individual item or the object. So they are the range of objects. So when you iterate, so you can cut the iterator and it will be iterable. Right, so what is iterable? We can read each individual value or you can read individual object. Fine. So in this case, what all will do? So all is a function. So if all, right, so if I have two items here, one is empty and one is other value. So now it gives a false. Because any object is empty, then it is a false. So let's take another example. So here is all a comma b. So is first element is present, second element is also present, therefore it will return the true value. So in the next example, we have one empty. So it return false. So therefore in a set of objects, if there is any object is absent or 0, so it will return the false value. Fine. So it will holds good this way also. If we give 0, so it's a false because 0 is a false. But if it's a 1, so 1 you get the true. So therefore if all the objects are present, then it is true. If any one is absent, then it is a false. That is the meaning of all function. Next one is any. Any returns a true if any of the item in iterable object is true. If any one is true, okay, then it will return the true. Whereas in this case all must be present. Whereas in this case any one present will do the job. For example, I'll take this one only, okay. So let's say all. So that let's change to any. We'll change to any. So here you take out the first item. We'll take out the second one. Second one is empty. First one is empty, second one is empty, and the third one will have 1, okay. So now this will return true because so at least one item is present. Now what we'll do is 2 absent and next one also we make it 0. Now it's false because all the items are false, therefore it is a false. So by all or any we can find out whether all the items are present or not. So all will give true if all the items are present. If there is any item is absent or 0, then it gives a false. Whereas in case of any, at least any one item is present, then it becomes true. If no items are present, then it gives a false. So next one is a bin. So bin return the binary versions of a number. Binary version of a number. Now we should know the binary. So binary numbers, what is binary? So binary is a 0 and 1. Binary is a 0 and 1. So we need to convert a number into binary format, that you can use the binary. We'll have a separate video how to convert a decimal to binary, a decimal to octagonal, a decimal to hexagonal. So please watch that video. Then you understand the complete concept of how to convert binary, again binary to decimal. Now I'll just take an example here, bin 8, okay, this 8 I want to convert into binary value. So before taking 8, I'll take 1 only, okay. So let's say bin, you take 1, okay. So 1, if you convert into binary format, what you'll get? So 0b, so indicating that it's a type. So 1 is a 1, 1 is 1 only, fine. Now what happened to 2? If you say 2, if you convert into binary, you are going to get the 0 and 1. 0, 1. So this is the first place, this is the second place. 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. 2 to the power of 0 is 1, okay. So therefore here is absent, 0 into 1 into 0, 0, 2 into 1, 2. So you get the 2 only. So now if we take 3, then we'll get 1, 1. Then we'll take 4. So you can keep on check. So if you get 15, so then you'll get all 111, right? So let's take bin 15. So you'll get 111. So this is a binary conversion. So you want to convert into binary, you can use the binary. So next one is a bool. Bool returns a boolean value of the specified object. If there is an object, so if the object is present, so you can see that even empty space, sorry, there is a space here. So it's a true, and here is there is no space and this is a blank, then it gives the ball false actually. So now we can say bool true. So instead of space, you can give as a that is true. So if you make it empty, it gives me false. If the object is absent, then is a false. You can also check for number, like if we say 1, it's true. If it's check for 0, it's false. So if any number present, that is true. If 0, then it is a false. That is about the boolean. So next is the character. Character returns a character from the specified Unicode code. So it will give the corresponding character. CHR will give the corresponding character for the code. So it's generally an ASCII code. So it will give the corresponding character of that particular code. Let's say CHR of 65. 65 is the ASCII code. So that will give corresponding character A. 65 A. So now you can try for next one, 66. You get B. So likewise, okay. So for any number, you can, because you know like 0 to 255, so we'll have corresponding characters. So randomly, if you give some characters like 200, so you'll get some character like this. Fine. Next is the complex. So we already know there are three types of numbers. So one is int, one is float, other one is a complex. Int, any number, is an integer. Float, any number with a decimal value, is a float. Complex number which represented with a j is a complex number. Now if any number present you want to change to complex number, you can use the complex function. Now we have 3 you want to make a complex. So when you execute this, so you can see that complex of 3 plus 0j, it gives the 3 plus 0j. So same way, so any number you want to turn to complex, you can use it as a complex. Right. Now let's say you want to transfer to a variable. Now check the variable, type n. So what is the type of the n? N is a complex. N is a complex. So let's say initially a is equal to 3. Now you can say complex, so otherwise you can check the type of a. So a is an integer. Now what you can do is you can say n is equal to complex of a. Right, now you can check the type n. So it's a complex now. So what is the n now? So n is 3 plus 0j. It's converted into a complex number. So this is the complex to convert a number to complex number. So next is a dictionary. It returns a dictionary array. So if you have a dictionary values, so that you want to convert in a dictionary, then you can use the dictionary functions. That is a DICT. So you can see that there are two set of items. This is one set 1, 2 and 3, 4. This is another set. So when you execute this, so you can see that this is the key pair, this is the key name, and this is the key value, key name and key value, like that. Now you want to make a dictionary value, so let's say D1 is equal to this dictionary. Now you type D1, so D1 will have the two values, 1 and 3, and the corresponding 1 value is 2, corresponding key 3 value is 4, like that. So next is execute. So execute to specified code or object. Okay, this is to execute the particular code. So here is an example. Execute. So here three statements are there. Okay, one is a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, print a plus b. Now this execute statement will pass the a to 2, 3 to b, and will add this, and then it will print. You can also add one more print statement. Print. Okay, this total I can add in the previous statement only. I don't want to add here. Like, so now you can see that it will print as a total 5. So execute, if you want to execute multiple statement, you can use the execute functions to execute it, and you can be able to get the result. The next is a float actually. Okay, this I call the function. Okay, float will return the floating point number. Float will return the floating point number. For example, float 2. Float 2. Okay, so let's say float 2, then 2.0. Okay, we'll pass the value to the variable float 2. Now we check the type n. So these are the type float. If we say n is equal to 2, now you check a type of n, that is integer. Just you give 2 to the variable, then you check the type, it is an integer. But you want to take the float number, you have to use the float function to convert this into float format. Format. So format we discussed in detail in a previous videos. So please check out that. So then you can understand all the format options over there. So print a is equal to, so the first value, a value has to come over here, and b is equal to curly braces 1. So the second value has to come here. So you can see that a is equal to 2, 3. Okay, ab is equal to 2, 3. Then you want to print the values. So it saw that a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. So here is a equal, and here is the curly braces 0. Mean first variable value has to come over there. There are a lot of things we can learn about format in the previous videos. Please check. Next, hexadecimal. So x convert number into hexadecimal value. So now if I want to convert 16 to hexadecimal, this is a decimal number. So then it becomes 10. So 16 to the power of 0, 16 to the power of 1. So 16 into 1, 16. Then 1 into 0, 0. Therefore it is 16. So if you want to change to hexadecimal, we can use the x function. Next one, input. So input we are already using regularly. Input is to read the input value, and then you can pass to variable. So input function. So we'll ask for the enter the number. So we'll go to variable n. Then we want to print that n. So n. So we'll have the input value. Next is the integer. So integer to returns integer number. Okay. So it will convert the string to number. So in this case, what happen, n to n. So here if you take the n, okay, so take the type of n here now. We are using input, and then we are passing the value to the n, and there is a value 23. But what is the type of n? It is a str. So str, you can't do the mathematical operations. Therefore, you need to change to integer. Therefore, same statement, but you can use the int function here. Probably you already seen in the previous examples. So we are changing to integer there. Now if you enter some number, let's say 232. Now if you say type n, so this is the integer. Okay, now it's of the type integer. Earlier is a string before conversions. Now after conversion it becomes integer. Next is the len function. So len function is used to find the length of the string or any sequence. Okay, so here you can see that len of computer. So how many characters are there? So we have 8 characters. Same way, when you have a list, okay, there is a list here 1 2 3 4, there are 4 items. Now you can find the len of the this list 1. So then it will show like how many items are present, how many objects are present in the list 1. So list 1 will have 4 objects. So same thing is applicable for the dictionary. So when I say dictionary, so it's have the curly braces and you'll have a key value, key name and key value. So you can see the dictionary. Now if you find the length of the dictionary, then what is the length? It is 2 because there are 2 objects here. So this one and this is the one. So it's called the key pair. Key name and the key value. Key name and the key value. So one, this is one set, this is another set. Therefore the totally 2 are there. So therefore it is a 2. Next is a list. Return a list. List function. Okay. So now you can see that there is a list 1 is here. You want to see all the items of the list 1. Then you can say list 1. List 1. So it will show all the items. So same thing is applicable with the dictionary also. Dictionary 1. Then list of dictionary 1. So now you can see that 2 items, so that is A and the B. So these are the key names and we can find the corresponding values with the key names. So next is the max. Max function return the largest number in a iterable. So iterable is a sequence, is a set of items or set of objects. So here is an example, max of 2, 3, 4. So whichever is maximum, that value will be returned. So in this case, 4 is maximum, therefore it return the 4. So here A1, A, B, all are characters. So when you check the corresponding values, you can see that B is the highest, therefore B return. B is max. So if you take a list actually, so list 1, so you can have 4 objects here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you use the max of list 1, so it will show you like in the list what is the maximum value. So 4 is the maximum value. Same way you can have a list 2, so here we have a text actually, so A, B, C. Now you can say max of list 2. So it gives C. Same way minimum will return the minimum or smallest item in a irritable. So for the same you can apply the minimum also. You can see that minimum list 2. So in this case it will return the A. So here is a max, then we change to minimum. Minimum MIN. So now it is, I'll just take this up. Fine. So minimum 1 A B. So therefore 1 is the minimum like. Next return the next item in a iterable. So we keep on discussing the iterable. Iterable is a sequence, a set. So in that it's iterable means we can read that value. So here is an example. So we say my iterator. So we are passing these values to make it as a iterator. So now it will have my iterator, it will have these objects or these values. So when you say next my iterator, so it will give the first value. So that is 1. If you say something same again, it will give the second value, next value. So fourth one and the fifth one. So if you try next time, it will give an error. Stop iteration. So therefore there are no more items, so it will not provide the next item. So here is another example, iterable. So A is equal to 1 to 3. This 1 to 3 is a values that is iterable. So therefore we can pass to A. Now become a iterator. So A is a list actually. So therefore it is a list now. The list we can make it as iterable. So B1 is equal to ITER of A. So B1 is a iterator. Now we can read the B1 value. B1 next B1. It will give the B1 value. Same you can check B2 iterate that to A. So same from A only will take. So then you can read the next value of B2. So B2 also it's 1 only. Like that we can read the values in case of iterator. Okay, when the sequence is iterable. That is the next function. Next is the octal. So octal is to convert base 8. Okay, so therefore number into octal format. So I want to convert ton to octal format. OCT of ton. So it'll give 0 O 1 2. So 8 to the power of 0, 8 to the power of 1. So 8 to the power of 0, 1 into 2, 8 to the power of 1, 8 into 1. So this will give 8, this will give 2, totally add, then you'll get the 10. If you're not sure what it is, so please watch other video where we have conversions, decimal to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexadecimal. So please watch that video also. So next one is the open. Open function is to open the file. Open file. Right, here is an example. So I want to open a file which is there in the E drive. Okay, so I just go to E drive. You can see that t1.txt. Here is our test 1. Okay, let's write test 2 and then test 3. Okay, 3 lines are there. Okay, I'll save this. So now I given the path here e colon t1.txt. So there are 2 backward slashes. Then R is the read mode. I want to read that one. Fine. So I'll execute. So then we can print the values, whatever is there in the file. Print f dot read. So it'll print the values here. Fine. So we can do lot with the open function, but anyway we have a file related activities separate video. So how to manage the file. So therefore in a day 9 or day 10 we'll make a video on file handling. So please watch that video. So therefore you'll understand the complete concept of how to handle the file. Next is the ORD. So ORD is a function to convert a integer representing Unicode to the specified character. Fine. So if you give the specified character, it will show the corresponding value. So otherwise it's called the ASCII value. Okay, ASCII value of A you want to find, that is 97. Therefore you can use the ORD function to find the ASCII value of the character. Same way you want to find the capital letter, capital A. So you'll get 65. Okay, small a is 97, capital A is 65. So likewise you can keep on type all the letters, you'll get the corresponding values. The opposite to that is the CHR. Okay, so when you say CHR of 65, you'll give the corresponding character. So you can see that you'll give the corresponding character. So when you give CHR 65, A will be provided. When you give A, 65 will come. So these are opposite functions. One is ORD, other one is the CHR. Generally ORD is called as ASCII, so in any other language, but here in Python we have the ORD. So next one is the power. Power result x to the power of y. So we'll give the value of x to the power of y. Now let's see that power 2 to the power of 0. 2 to the power of 0, that is 1. Okay. Now 2 to the power of 1. 2 to the power of 1. So that will give 2. 2 to the power of 2, 4. 2 to the power of 3, 8. Like that. Okay. So if you want to 10 to the power of 2. So how much it is? 100. 10 into 10. Okay. So that is the power functions to find the power. Print regularly we are using to print the output. Next is the range. So we see the range in for loop. So because in order to execute the for loop, sometimes we'll use the range. So number of times so loop has to be executed, we can use the range. So range of 10 indicates 0 to 9. So totally 10 items. So you want to see all the items, then you can say print range 10. So it will show the what are the values. So that is 0 to 10. Fine. So the range will again another 0 to 10. But if you want to list all the items, what are the items will be there in this one, then you can use the function called as a list. List range 10. That list we discussed earlier also. When you are listing the 10, you can see that these are the objects are these are the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. So that's how we can take the advantage of list. So next is the round function. So we'll round the decimal values to the specified number of digits. So you can see that round, I have some number here 1232 comma 2323 comma 2. So now what happened? So we can say comma 2, it will take to two decimal places. So for example, let's say round 1 2 comma sorry dot. Here you can say 1 2 3 4 5 6, but we don't want all the 6, we want only two decimal places. So it will take up to two decimal places. And also I will round up the number. Okay, if number greater than 5 or 5, we'll take that number to the next digit. So comma 2. So above 5. Okay, so now if this is 6, so now this is 6 above 5, therefore one carry will taken care to next number and it will become a 6 here. So same number, okay, here is 6. If you take 1, so one decimal place. Now you can see that 1 become 2 because it is 5, 6 is there, 6 will take to next carry, this becomes 6, it'll give the carry to the next number, therefore 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. And in case you don't want any decimal values, you give 0. There are no decimal values. Also you can give minus 1. So minus 1 will take to this place. Okay, this place will be removed and 0 will come. So let's check it out another example. Round 1 2 3 4 5 6 then comma minus 2. So we don't want 10th place and the 0 place, unit place. There let it be zeros. Then when you execute this, you can see that it becomes 6. So this is carry 1 will go 5. So 1 2 3 5 0 0. So that's how we can round up the number. So next is a slice, written as slice of object. So here is an example. We have a set a is equal to, sorry, it's a tuple. Okay, so a is equal to all these values. Then you want to slice this. So x is equal to slice of 3 comma 5 from 3 to 5. That is what you want to transfer. Then you can say print a of x. Print a of x will give d and e. So therefore it will start with the third object. That is the third object because 0, 1, 2, 3. So 5 is the last one. So therefore it will take the one number less. Therefore it is a d and e. There is also called as a step actually. So in case of step, so step up to 0 to 7, so 0 to 7, step 2 means it should leave 1 and then take the next one. So that's what the step. So in case of range also we discussed the step, same thing is applicable here also. Next is sorted. We want to sort the letters or numbers. Then you can use sorted. So here is a A1 is equal to have these values. Now what you can do is you can sort it. Sorted A1. So they'll come in the alphabetical order. So if you take numbers, N1 is equal to 1 2 3 4, then you can sort this. So therefore it becomes order. str, anyway we know str will written as a string actually. So number to string you want to do it, then you can use the str function. Sum to find the sum of the numbers. Okay, so let's say sum of 1 comma 2 comma 3. Sorry. Okay, sum of iterable items. So therefore we have to pass the iterable. So list of items 3. So it will give the sum of that value. So next tuple. So it will convert into tuple format and then it returns to tuple. So type anyway we already discussed to know the variable type actually. So if we say n is equal to 5, so type n. So it gives the type, what type it is. So that is give the type of the variable. Fine, so this is the one which is covered in this video. So please practice all these things, understand the step by step, and you should know like how to use each and every functions. So please subscribe to our channel if you're not yet been subscribed, and keep watch, keep learn. Also please share the video with your friends. Thank you.